Oggi io vedo un momento importante, un passo avanti importante dopo le decisioni del Consiglio dei Governatori annunciate dal Presidente Draghi verso una governance dell'Eurozona più soddisfacente.
Here at the Ambrosetti Forum at the Villa d'Este on Lake Como, business leaders and politicians also welcomed Mario Draghi's latest plan. But they started the day with a relatively downbeat assessment of the economic situation, not just here in Europe, but in the US and China.
Well, I don't think that the BCE has a big impact in changing the prospects of the overall macroeconomic environment. The macroeconomic environment has worsened, has softened or worsened in many places around the world. I think that the most worrisome thing is that it has spread, the softening has spread all over the world, including China and the emerging markets, where so far, or at least in the first half of the year, the conditions were still very positive.
The market response suggested investors are optimistic. On Friday, the FTSE Euro First 300 was up again, having bounced strongly on Thursday after Mr Draghi's announcement. The S&P 500 also rose, reaching its highest level since May 2008. Bond yields in Italy and Spain have fallen. The yield on Spanish two-year bonds fell to a level last seen in April, and Italian two-year bond yields fell below 2.5%.
If we begin to get a sense that the euro crisis is coming under control, and this is certainly part of creating that sense, it may recreate confidence. The big issue, I think, in terms of investment strategy is not the absence of capital, not the absence of resource to invest. Companies are holding back because of the uncertainties surrounding the euro and have been doing so for a considerable period of time. So by the demonstration at national level and at European level of a resolution to get this whole euro issue under control, we can re-stimulate the economy to growth.
There is one very important improvement that has taken place, that it could be anticipating improvements in the overall macroeconomic situation, and this is the equity market. Equities have been increasing in value in the last couple of months. So I think that the financial market sentiment has changed, and I think that this is an early indicator that something may improve also in the real economy.
Any return of confidence, though, to the Eurozone would help European business, which has found it increasingly difficult to access credit as the Eurozone crisis has worsened.
I think that per se these measures do not automatically improve access to credit, because I think there is a lot to do in the banking sector. But I think that certainly this paves the way for a better environment in credit availability to companies, which has been one of the biggest problems we have been facing in the last months, perhaps in the last 2 or 3 years. Especially small and medium-sized companies have suffered very much from this lack of credit availability, and if the situation becomes a little bit more relaxed on the financial side, I think that this will certainly improve the access to credit.
So while companies and policymakers here at Ambrosetti have generally agreed that the latest moves by the ECB were extremely helpful, there was also general consensus that much more remained to be done. The nature of the problems facing the Eurozone and the global economy are well known, but a wide range of policy prescriptions were offered in response, some of them contradictory. Some speakers advocated much greater integration among the Eurozone countries, from banking union to fiscal union.
I believe that banking union is necessary. I believe that we have greater economic union is necessary, and I believe that this necessarily means greater political union.
Others suggested merely ensuring that current policy was actually implemented. But it is impossible to avoid the impression that without further serious progress by European policymakers, the relief Mr Draghi has provided to markets may well prove only temporary. Sarah Gordon, Financial Times, Cernobbio.